The Nightbeat starts right now.
A night under the stars. Easter campers in San Antonio enjoying temps in the 70s, but prepare for warmer temperatures this weekend. We're going to check in with meteorologist Adam Caskey in a moment. But first, we begin with team coverage tonight. The dangers first responders face not only physically, but mentally. And there's a new resource that's now available we're going to tell you about. But first, the night team's Lee Waldman begins our team coverage. Tonight, she sat down with one Bexar County dispatcher who is being recognized for her part in saving a baby girl's life in a recent murder-suicide.
He had just committed a murder and was then going to kill himself. He indicated to the dispatcher that there was a baby inside the house as well that was unharmed.
It was a shocking and horrific crime, one that rattled Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar.
But there are some pretty grave injuries. I mean, among the worst I've ever seen.
BCSO says Kevin Lamb stabbed Ty Nguyen to death in front of a baby before turning the knife on himself when deputies arrived. It all happened inside of the Esperanza apartments off Petrenko Road late last month. Obviously a very volatile situation, and the dispatcher did their best to keep him talking, keep him on the phone, and pleaded with him. That dispatcher, mother of two, Stacy Nielsen.
Yeah, that was not the easiest thing to listen to.
For 5 years, Nielsen has worked as a public safety dispatcher here in Bexar County, handling calls as they come in and getting law enforcement where they need to go.
We're either on the phone sometimes, or we're handling a tap channel with a critical incident, and then we have our primary channels. It's a lot of juggling.
Given the suspect's claim that he had a knife and a baby girl was inside of the apartment, Nielsen moved fast.
Given the details that we do know, it was incredibly important for me to get them there as quickly as possible.
Her actions had deputies there in 3 minutes. It's a job she doesn't take for granted and one she didn't think she'd be doing. That is until 5 years ago.
My girls and I were living in Maryland, and we were in a domestic violence situation.
Her experience in needing someone to step in during a time of crisis changed her life completely.
I wanted to help other people who had been through similar situations like me. So that's why I chose to become a dispatcher.
Allowing her to pay it forward every day.
These dispatchers go through everything that we go through. They are absolutely first responders. They're there with us.
Along with saving lives, Nielsen is also helping to protect the mental health of first responders. She's on a peer counseling team, which allows her to visit with other dispatchers and deputies and their families who are going through crisis, and she's able to help them through it. Now, training to become a dispatcher takes anywhere between 6 months to a year. On our website, KSAT.com, we have a link for you to click on to learn more about how to become a dispatcher. Reporting live, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Dispatcher/lifesaver. Thank you, Lee. Well, there is a new resource that's being made available to protect the mental health of those who protect us. The night team's Patty Santos continuing our team coverage tonight. She tells us about a former law enforcement officer who's using his experience to help others.
I remember the first time I heard the Cops theme when my dad was watching at 11 o'clock at night. I heard it come on. I had to make a beeline to his room just so I can jump on the edge of bed and watch Cops, because that was the thing to do. I was in love with this since I was a little kid.
For Preston Kinnikin, the police uniform was a badge of honor. It was his dream to serve and protect the public, but he soon experienced the dark side.
You come home and you're not in a good mood. You're upset. You had to deal with some horrible stuff. You had to see some horrible things that people shouldn't have to see, because people shouldn't be doing it to each other, and it really starts to affect you.
After 6 years, he stepped away from law enforcement, but he came back to help people like him battling PTSD.
We're asking our first responders to go out there and handle people with mental health issues when they're suffering from a form of mental health themselves, whenever they're dealing with trauma day in and day out and developing PTSD.
And that's how the nonprofit Warriors of Rameth was born. It's a support group. They meet in this room at River City Church in Selma. Combat veterans and first responders come together and learn how to manage their trauma.
I hope they feel that they're encouraged, that there is something beyond what they're feeling. There's something beyond that dark feeling that they feel when they're dealing with post-traumatic stress.
Ian Brown, who's retired from the Army, says the group is a safe haven of anonymity where everyone opens up and shares their thoughts without fear of being blackballed.
Come forward. There's nothing wrong with telling people that you need help.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Asking for help, a symbol of strength, really. The peer-to-peer support group meets at the River City Church in Selma on the second, third, and fourth Monday of every month. The meeting starts at 6:30. It lasts for about 2 hours. If you'd like to learn more about this group, we have all the information you need on KSAT.com. Just click on this story. And while online, you can also check out some of the resources the San Antonio Police Department also offers its officers. That includes 3 psychologists and a peer support team. The department also has access to technology that can measure brain activity, even stress. We have that story on KSAT.com as well. Now, Friday night, and the barriers back up in many neighborhoods surrounding the St. Mary's Strip, all part of an ongoing traffic study involving neighbors and the bars in the area. It's more than just keeping bar goers, though, from parking in residential neighborhoods. There's also concern about the trouble that some residents say wanders onto their streets on Friday and Saturday nights. Barriers will be lifted at 2 a.m., but it will start all over again tomorrow night. Your traffic authority has the more than a dozen closures all mapped out. Just use your phone's camera feature to scan the QR code on your screen. You'll see all our traffic coverage, including an article on street closures. And this weekend is busy with several celebrations. Tonight marks the beginning of Passover in the Jewish faith. One local congregation held what they say is the largest Passover Seder in South Texas. The Baruch Hashem Messianic Synagogue hosted the event tonight. Passover meant to commemorate the liberation of Jewish people from slavery in ancient Egypt. The Seder is filled with different types of food, symbolizing many components of what Jewish people experienced. For example,
on Passover, we are not allowed to eat leavened bread for an entire week. So there's no donuts, no bagels. We could just have matzah, represents the bread of affliction. This is when we left Egypt, we didn't have enough time for the bread to rise. And so this is why we eat matzah.
Passover will continue for about a week. It ends on April 23rd. Today, many Christians recognizing Good Friday after a 2-year hiatus. Many gathered to see the Passion Play once again take to San Antonio's streets. The procession started with a prayer service at Milam Park, ended with the powerful moments where the crucifixion and death of Jesus was reenacted. The Chapel of the Incarnate Word also recognizing the religious holiday with music today. "14 acclaimed organists participated in a program with 14 Sisters of the Incarnate Word. They worked together to perform the 14 movements of Marcel Dupree's Stations of the Cross." And for many in San Antonio, Easter weekend means one thing: camping. It's another tradition carrying on after the pandemic put it on a 2-year hold. As a matter of fact, campers had 9 parks to choose from, Brackenridge Park being the most popular for this type of event. And here's a live look from Brackenridge tonight. Many families already staked out their spots, having fun tonight. Earlier, we spoke with one family who said they were ready to sit down to a Lenten meal in the park.
Today we get to eat some fish because we're going to have some fish fry. So that's the showstopper. I mean, for me at least, it's food, right? As long as it's food, that's what I.
That's the showstopper. Tomorrow and Sunday, sure to bring out more celebrations, including Easter eggs and cascarones. What did I say?
You said cascarones.
Adam, that brings up reminders of the Canyon de Casquirone, right?
Yes, of course.
All right, so what can people expect as we head into the Easter weekend?
Well, plenty of cascarones, of course. Wouldn't be Easter without it. And warmer conditions, and it's going to be humid, so the little confetti is going to be sticking to your slightly sweaty skin no matter what. We look at the conditions tomorrow morning. We're going to wake up to a little bit of drizzle out there, some low clouds right near 70 degrees, and then we get into the 90s again. So we're going to talk about the weekend more in detail, how hot it's going to get and where, and even some slight rain chances coming right up.
Thank you, Adam. Let's go to the border now. Hundreds of migrants stopped near the U.S. border. U.S. Border Patrol sharing this photo showing 2 large groups found near Eagle Pass over just the last 48 hours. The groups included people from 7 different countries. Agents also stopped this truck of smuggled migrants near El Paso yesterday. 70 people on board this truck, along with the 2 smugglers. The group was not found during the governor's ordered enhanced vehicle inspections, though. And tonight, Governor Abbott is rolling back those extra inspections on the border, but he says they could come back Abbott admits the bogged down border is causing a financial pain. The reason he says it's necessary, plus.
I believe he's living on through these other people and giving life to others.
It is a tragedy now offering hope to other families in San Antonio. How a young man's final gift being remembered by his loved ones tonight. Into more developments on the border now. Governor Greg Abbott ending extra inspections in the Rio Grande Valley. He says this comes after an agreement with the Mexican governor of Tamaulipas. Governor Abbott also lifted those inspections in El Paso and Laredo. DPS troopers conducted inspections which involved checking things like tire pressure, headlamps. But the governor's political opponent, former Congressman Beto O'Rourke, says those checks didn't include actually looking into the cargo holds.
So there was no ability to detect illegal drug trafficking or human smuggling, even if it was taking place on these ports of entry. Just want to make sure everyone gets this was completely unnecessary.
Meanwhile, Governor Abbott admitted the extra inspections bogged down the border. There was also a financial hit. ABC affiliate KRGV reports the city of FAR estimates a loss in trade value of about $1 billion. The governor today saying the financial impact is necessary.
And a consequence of that is financial pain. And that financial pain is necessary to get the public to insist that their government leaders, such as the presidents of the two countries involved, take the action that is needed to solve this problem.
Abbott says he could reinforce those orders if there is not a slowdown in illegal border crossings. It's been almost 2 weeks since a devastating accident took the life of a San Antonio man. But tonight, Richard Chassain's family says he is a hero.
He was only 22 years old, and so his organs are still young, and he's still young, and we knew that somebody else could sustain life from his life, hopefully.
Police say a driver hit Chassain from behind near West Hutchins Place, less than a mile from South San Antonio High School. His aunt says he was skateboarding home from work and that the driver just didn't see him. The next day, he was taken off life support, and his heart, liver, and kidneys were donated to 4 different people.
He is still living. His heart's beating. It's in somebody else, though. So he's still alive to me and to my family.
Chassain's family does not know who received his organs, but they hope to meet them one day and wish them long, healthy lives. And April is National Donate Life Month. If you would like to become an organ donor, you can designate your donation status when you get or renew your driver's license. Registration also open anytime at donatelifetexas.org. Now for a look at your headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. Investigators still looking into how a fire started at a longtime San Antonio daycare center. It happened at the Guardian Angel Child Development Center on Pleasanton Road. No one inside the building at the time. The owner now trying to figure out how to open this center as soon as possible. San Antonio police have made an arrest in the murder of a 17-year-old. This guy, 43-year-old Geraldo Godina, accused of shooting the unidentified teenager last night. It happened on Stony Brook Drive, not far from Medina Base Road. Police say they do not know exactly what led up to the shooting. Godina charged with murder. He's being held in the Bexar County Jail on a $150,000 bond. If you have yet to file your taxes, it's all right. Consider this your reminder that you have just a few days left to get them done. The IRS has extended its deadline to Monday, April 18th. The change due to Emancipation Day. It's a holiday in Washington, D.C., which is being observed today. Emancipation Day marks the end of slavery in Washington, D.C. We have a full breakdown of what you need to know before you file right now on KSAT.com. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. And as we transition to weather, another live look at Brackenridge Park. And you know, there weren't many tents out there earlier today, but it seems as if it's filling up tonight.
Yeah, it does seem like more people are venturing out, and maybe they're just taking their time today, right? Maybe waiting for the sun to get a little bit lower and temperatures to fall a little bit before venturing out to the parks and popping up the tents. All right, so let's talk about our headlines as we go into this upcoming weekend. Humid all the way through Sunday. The stickiness is out there. It's typical for this time of year. Monday we'll have a little break, but this weekend's going to be humid. Morning clouds and a little bit of drizzle, followed by afternoon sunshine. That's the trend all weekend, and we do have some minor storm chances to get into as well. Let's take a look outside and talk temperatures and dew points. Look at that dew point, 70 degrees, so the humidity is back in full effect. We've got that stickiness in the air. That southeasterly wind at 10 miles per hour, that was boosting the humidity and, of course, raising these dew points, the true measure of the moisture content of the air. The dew point, the temperature to which the air must cool to in order to become saturated. So we will likely have some low clouds tomorrow right near 70 degrees. 70 is the dew point. We'll have some dew on the ground as well, and maybe a little bit of drizzle. Unfortunately, no good rainfall anticipated from the low clouds to start the day tomorrow and even on Sunday. Temperatures, we were in the 80s today. Far cry from the 90s earlier this week. 80 Pleasanton right now. Uvalde 77, Kerrville 72. New Braunfels not bad at 78 degrees. Bulverde, you're at 75, but Stinson now still holding on to 81 degrees. As we go through the day tomorrow, we'll get into the 90s. So we're talking 90s for high temperatures this weekend. 94 around San Antonio, but you get farther to the west and southwest of town, the typically warmer locations, and we're likely to be closer to 100. So you're going to be feeling that heat this weekend, especially south and west of San Antonio. Still in the 90s on Sunday, but we'll trim off just a few degrees, and then early next week back in the 80s. But that's still well above average, the average high temperature now at an even 80 degrees. We need rain. We all know that. Drought monitors not looking good. Aquifer nearly 20 feet below average for this time of year. We had clouds across the state today. That's it. The severe activity was in the Mid-South, especially the Memphis area, parts of Arkansas, stretching into western Tennessee. That's where we have some action, and the weather pattern's not as dynamic overall across the nation today as it was the past couple of days. And if you're curious where the big blue H is, it's not sitting directly overhead. The infamous upper level high, the heat high, it's right over central Mexico right now. That's where it's really pressing down on them. We're still influenced by it, but it's not completely dominating our weather. Here's our computer rendition. This is just a vague representation of where most of the moisture is going to be over the next 5 days. And it's true to the trend that we've been seeing. East Texas, the southeastern United States. We call them weather patterns for a reason. That has been the trend for several weeks. We just have a 20% chance tomorrow afternoon and a 30% chance Sunday afternoon of a few rogue, really stray, isolated pop-up showers here and there. So here's the KSAT 12-hour forecast. Low clouds in the morning, may look like it's going to rain, but only a little bit of dampness from drizzle and dew on the grass. Near 70 degrees, not much of a breeze in the morning. By the afternoon, only 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. By the noon hours, clouds starting to break, 82 degrees. Then we get well into the 90s for high temperatures with the afternoon sunshine. Easter Sunday, pretty much the same. You've got the green light for the morning outdoor Easter egg hunts or even the brunch outdoors as well. Monday, I want to point out, we get a little brief break from the humidity.
All right, Caskey, I want to bring you in on this because
I'm all in.
Greg has been making fun of me. I thought I was wearing casual Friday of the khakis, the blue shirt, the navy jacket. He said I look like I'm ready to go to the country club.
Yeah,
or yachting
actually,
or whatever.
I mean, yacht club.
Yeah, the yacht club. I
mean, you're missing a pipe and patches on your elbows, and that's it.
It's casual Friday, guys.
I think he needed the captain's hat.
And I love Greg giving me fashion advice. The guy who wears a suit to mow the lawn. All right, let's talk about the Cowboys. I had to get that in there because I know you enjoyed calling me a yachter today.
Yes, I did. We have a player involved in an investigation, and we're learning today that this Dallas Cowboy may have actually been in the SUV where shots were fired and a man is dead. When we come back, details about that, and they are back-to-back champs in Bernie. Coming up.
such a battle against really yourself, right? It's in here. And they're the ones there who showed how bad they wanted that, and they took it.
The Bernie Greyhounds successfully defend their state title in soccer in big board sports, but first.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Police in Dallas would like to talk to Cowboys cornerback Kelvin Joseph as part of their investigation into a murder last month in Greenville. The victim was 20-year-old Cameron Ray, who was shot to death on March 18 following an altercation with a group of individuals that included Joseph. Video has emerged from Dallas TV station KDFW that shows the group may have included Cowboys' second-round draft pick. The reason police believe Joseph is part of that group is because that video shows one individual wearing a YKDV necklace. Joseph goes by the rap name YKDV Bossman Fat. The video also shows shots came from an SUV while Ray and his friends walked to their vehicle following the confrontation. And late today, Joseph's own attorney told the Dallas Morning News his client was in that SUV but did not know what was going to happen. Well, the Cowboys issued a statement today saying they are aware of the incident. There are reports the team is encouraging Joseph, who played in 10 games last season, to tell the police what he knows about the murder. Now that the Spurs season has come to an end, it's time to focus on next season, beginning with the draft, where the Spurs had 3 first-round draft picks, including 1 in the top 10, thanks to their loss of the Pelicans in the play-in tournament. And we'll also wait to see who returns next season, and players like Lonnie Walker, the 4th, who developed into a solid player, setting career highs in points with 12.1, shooting 49% from the field on 2-pointers, 2.2 assists, and playing in a career-high 70 games this season. Hopefully that's enough for the Spurs to bring him back next season, since his 4-year, $12 million contract is up and now headed to free agency. All that while he's invested himself in the community.
I'm hopeful to be back. You know, it's at this point, you know, it's up to my agents, you know, so I'm gonna take a nice little vacation with my fiance and call it a summer and then get back into grind mode. This is my first time, so I really can't tell you what's all gonna be going on and whatnot. You know, I'm just gonna stay in my lane. I'm the basketball player, you know. I'm here to hoop. I'm not here to be an agent and talk about negotiations and whatnot.
The end of the Spurs season also means it's an end to Becky Hammon's run as the first ever full-time female assistant coach in NBA history. That's because she has left the Spurs to take over as the new head coach of Las Vegas Aces, formerly known as the San Antonio Stars, where Becky played 7 seasons as part of her WNBA career. But before the play-in loss of the Pelicans in New Orleans, Pop revealed that Becky actually left the team after the game in Dallas to end the regular season. What was that like for the players?
It was sad. It was emotional. It was... It was excitement for her. You know, it's a new journey for her, and I think she's gonna, you know, do really good at it. Like I said, I told her, you know, through the ups and downs, just enjoy the journey. You know, this is just another chapter in your book, and you know, just excited and happy for her to, you know, get a head coaching job, and you know, just wishing the best for her.
All right, the play-in tournament wraps up tonight, and the Hawks are in. The Pelicans are trying to get in, leading the Clippers 56-46. Bernie back on top next. The Bernie Greyhounds have been able to finish on top again after they were able to defend their state soccer title today in Georgetown with a 2-1 come-from-behind victory over Salina. But as our Andrew Seeley reports, it had to take overtime to do it.
After dominating the better part of the second half, Jess Gonzalez's goal was like one giant exhalation. 10 minutes of defense later, and the Greyhounds were state champs once again.
I can't just wrap my head around it. We've just won twice here in Georgetown. My last 2 years of high school, I got knocked down the second round of playoffs my freshman year. I never expected this at all.
It's something we've been talking about, since first round, since the beginning of district. It's what every senior high school soccer player asks for. To go out and to play to the last day possible and to win on the last day, it is absolutely huge.
Goalkeeper Noah Lemaster made some remarkable saves to help the Greyhounds force overtime. He was named tournament MVP.
The past 3 games, we've gone down early and off mistakes, so I really wasn't worried at all. We were able to play more relaxed because we've already done it.
They don't lose their cool, they don't lose their minds like me on the sideline. They're so calm, collected, composed. They trust in each other. They know that no matter what happens, we're going to be in the game. We're going to trust the process, just trust each other. And again, it showed through. We gave an early goal and we were able to come back from it.
And now the Greyhounds can celebrate another title, the first team from the greater San Antonio area to go back-to-back. From Birkelbach Field in Georgetown, Andrew Seeley, KSAT 12 Sports.
All right, thanks a lot, Andrew. Safe travels back there, and congratulations again to the Greyhounds and all of their fans and family, because this has been a 2-year process.
And the crowd sounded great
out there.
It
was a nice house there. Nice.
Yeah, congratulations. We'll be right back.
So tomorrow afternoon, 99 Sabinal and Uvalde, 96 Floresville and Nixon, Seguin about 93, and mostly in the mid-90s around San Antonio. Some lower 90s as you head a little bit farther to the north. And Easter Sunday is going to be similar, just a few degrees cooler and slight storm chances in the afternoons.
Thanks, Adam. No matter what you're up to this weekend, hope you enjoy it. GMSA starts at 6 a.m.